Shalom everybody, today I'm going to be doing a video showing you how I make chocolate chip cookies, so stay tuned. So for the most part I'm going to be following this whole recipe. There are just a few things in this recipe that I will not be using, like the chocolate chips they say to use. I have these semi-sweet mini chocolate chips, and the ingredients are fairly simple. Just cane sugar, natural chocolate liquor, non-alcoholic, non-dairy cocoa butter. So it's fairly simple ingredients in this, and it tastes really good for the recipe for the cookies that I'm making. I'll also be adding some walnuts as well, because we like nuts in our cookies. So that's about it. So all of the ingredients that we'll be using in this recipe will be all-purpose flour. Instead of cake flour and bread flour, we will just use all-purpose flour. Baking soda, baking powder, salt, unsalted butter. In replace of butter, we'll be using either coconut oil or olive oil. Either or. I like coconut oil because it solidifies and it works good for cookies. And light brown sugar, regular sugar, we use brown sugar or natural sugar, vanilla, and chocolate chips. So that's about it. That's all of the ingredients that will be going into these cookies. First, add the coconut oil, about 2 cups. 2 cups and a half of coconut oil. 2 cups and a half of brown sugar. And about 2 cups of regular sugar. Now, keep in mind this is a recipe for our big family, so the real measurements right here would only be 1 cup. But in this recipe, I'm adding about 2 cups to double it, so that it will be enough for my recipe. So if you wish to not make as many cookies as I'm making, then don't double the recipe. I'll post the actual recipe in the description box, so be sure to look at that. Mix for about 5 minutes. Now, slowly stir in eggs one at a time. Mix well. After each egg is put in, mix well. I am using 4 eggs for doubling the recipe, but if you do not want to double the recipe, then as I stated before, you don't need to double or add 2 eggs. And after stirring in all of the eggs, add vanilla. Unfortunately, we don't have vanilla right now, so we're going to just skip that, but after you add the eggs, add vanilla. In a separate bowl, I'm going to mix together the dry ingredients, which will be 4 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons and a half of baking soda, and 3 teaspoons of baking powder, and also 2 teaspoons of salt. Okay, sift this all together now. Sift it thoroughly. Now it's time to add all of the flour to the wet mixture. Mix together slowly. This should be good for now until we add chocolate chips and walnuts. For this recipe, I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. Since they're so small, they spread a lot easier than the big ones. Now it's time to chop all the walnuts up. Normally I would use about 1.5 cups of walnuts, but I don't have enough, so this should do. Chopped. Now it's time to add this to the mixture. Now it's time to mix very slowly. Make sure it's thoroughly mixed. Might have to speed it up just a little bit to make sure it's thoroughly mixed. That's how I know when to do that. Voila! Now it's time to finally add the cookies to the sheet. The cookies are now done and out of the oven. Now it's time for me to go on and scoop them up off the pan and put them on the plate. Cookies are all finished. Now it's time for me to taste test one. These are pretty good. I have made some better ones, but these are pretty good. Follow the recipe and they should be nice and soft, and they should rise a whole lot and be big. Stay tuned for my next video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, and like. Thanks for watching.